Hey folks, welcome back to the Edupedia world, and I am Abhinay Gupta. And today again we will continue with the Professional Ethics by the CA Act 1949. Now, people or students who have been connected throughout with the videos are aware that yes, we have already started the clause number 7, and I've covered a lot of topics in that clause, right? So today we'll be completing with few more topics in the same clause, and then in the next lecture we'll move ahead with the guidelines provided by the council on this particular clause, right? So there are 3-4 topics that we still need to discuss and have our views clear on them, right? We'll just wind up that in this lecture. This will be a short lecture for you, and then move on to the further discussion. Okay, so we'll get back to the clause 7 of part 1 of the first schedule, and these are the points that we need to discuss. So number 1, it says that a member may appear on the television, may appear on the film, radio, or any kinds of broadcasting. You are always allowed. Don't think that okay, if I am a chartered accountant and I get a part or I get an opportunity for an interview, I am forbidden, right? No, you're not. You're not prohibited from attending any conferences, giving any interviews or any kind of thing. But there are certain limitations when you go ahead with that, right? And the limitation is not on what interviews you are supposed to give, but the limitation is on what are you supposed to share on that. Okay? Now for example, if you have an interview on a television or on a radio, right, and you go over there, then if you have been invited, understand it is not just because you are a chartered accountant, because there are over lakhs of members in the country. So why is it you? And that may be because you may be sharing some special qualifications along with it. You may be sharing certain special knowledge for that specific topic for which you have been invited, right? You must be having certain experiences, or any particular act of yours may have attracted that interview. So make sure when you go there for the interview, right, you can use your name, because people should know who is there for the interview. You can also use your designation that yeah, you are a chartered accountant, right? Whatever special qualifications you have, you can use it. Whatever special knowledge you have, you can also demonstrate it, but they should be in line, right, with the topic of that interview or with the topic of that broadcasting, right? But you have to make very sure that you give no reference in any case, right, to the name or address or the services of your firm. It's you as an individual, because of certain qualities and specifications of your, that you are there and you are being broadcasted, right? It's not about your firm, it's not about your client, it's not about your practical achievements. I mean the achievements out of your practice, right? The achievements of your firm, the clientage of your firm. Those things are not supposed to be shared. Those things are not supposed to be discussed. You are not called upon that platform to discuss your client base. If you have been called, then you have been called for an open discussion on any particular topic, and you being present in that conference or in that interview specifically specifies that you have a good deal of knowledge on that topic. So please use that and say anything but in context to the topic of the program, and in nowhere should you be promoting your firm. Are you clear with it? So what is the crux you get is, please, no publicity to your practice. The rest everything is allowed, right? So that is actually gonna be the basic crux. No publicity, no advertisement for your service, no advertisement for soliciting client. Rest everything is allowed. But why are we going through these specific small things is that if you get a specific question in an examination, right, you have a clear-cut view. You have been through those topics, you know them, and you can give your judicial answer on it, right? So just make sure whatever you say or you write should not be promotional in any nature. Okay with that? Next, publicity is allowed for the institute and the member in general. Yes, now suppose You being a chartered accountant, you are taking over some important positions in the country, some important positions in your locality, right? Anything, something related to the government, something related to the local authority, the central government, state government, or any other important positions. If you have been elected or if you have been selected to hold that position, you can at any point of time go ahead and advertise the profession and advertise the institute, because that is in general, and you are bringing the good orientation and the good views and the good repute to the institute in general, to all the chartered accountant, to the entire profession, right? That is what you do. Because doing that, you do not solicit clients. Because if you have an auditing client or any tax representative client, any person who wants to get his return filed or any kind of work, right, that you know that only a chartered accountant can do, so anyways they will have to look for a chartered accountant. It is not advertising to get the work over there. But if you go on advertising your personal self, then we would consider that to be an advertisement, right? But what is already in place, understand what is already in place, you given that opportunity to bring some good views to the institute, some good words, some good followers to the institute, that will be an achievement, and that is always allowed. And the members who are like giving some talks, giving some lectures, right, they can at any point of time publicize themselves being a chartered accountant. They can describe themselves as a chartered accountant, right, but only when they are acting as one. But again, as well as over here, you are not supposed to make any reference to your firm or the services you provide, right? Just use the designation chartered accountant in general. Next, you can invite staff of other professionals and clients on trainings. Now what happens is, now suppose you being a chartered accountant, you are running a firm, right, and there's something new coming up, like GST has just come up, right? So now if you want to go ahead and give certain trainings on the goods and services tax, so what you do is you arrange for a hall, you arrange for a conference room, you call all your staff, and then you start giving that presentation, that training. Okay, but now there are few more chartered accountants whom you know, and you people have collaboratively or in consensus decided that yeah, let us do one thing, let us conduct a common training for all. So maybe there are two different speakers and there are a set of all staff from various professional firms and stuff sitting in front of you, right? That does not mean you are trying to just get the gathering and solicit clients. No, you are actually giving out certain important trainings, right? And whom are you giving it to? The first important thing, to your staff, to the staff of other professional chartered accountant, maybe to the staff of your clients, right? Now other chartered accountants, they don't give you work. If they do, they give you your clients anyways, right? They are not your clients, and the other people, your clients, are already your clients. So what are you soliciting over there? Nothing. You cannot just call up strangers and start these trainings to show off that yeah, I know all these, please if you want to know about GST, get in touch with me, this is my firm, this is my location and stuff. You cannot do that, right? But if you are giving any training, if you are giving any speech, any lecture to your staff, you can invite the staff of the other professional bodies and the other clients that you have. Okay, but again over there the lecture should be specified and connected to the topic that you have decided, the topic that have been communicated to the rest of the staffs, right? And even though you cannot solicit clients over here, you are not supposed to advertise your firm. Okay with it? Next, while writing article to the press, give name and designation. Yes, now most of you must have seen, right, any press release from any chartered accountant. Pick up any newspaper, if you see any statement made by any chartered accountant, in the right hand bottom they write so and so chartered accountant. That's it. No year of qualification, no firm name, no experience, no field of services provided, Nothing is mentioned, only the name and the designation, so that you understand that yeah, this article or this write-up has been given by a chartered accountant, and this is the name of the chartered accountant, so that if you like and you further want to follow, you can follow it by his name. Whatever blogs, whatever articles are coming up from his name, by him, you can follow them. That is why the name is given and the designation, which is the profession to which that person belongs to. Are you clear with it? So in all of these above, there is one peculiar similarity that you should have noticed, is that you are simply not supposed to use your firm's name or your achievements. Achievement means your clientage achievements, right? Or the nature of services you provide or anything like that. That is the crux of the entire chapter, or of the entire clause. Right? So if you get something in the examination where you are confused and you don't know that whether or not you have read it, just be very clear in your mind. Everything is allowed, but you cannot use the name of your firm, you cannot use the name of the services you provide, you cannot publicize your firm. You can publicize yourself, you can publicize your institute, you can publicize your profession, you can publicize the special qualification and the special knowledge that you have related to any particular topic. You can do all those things, but you should not publicize your firm or the services you provide. Are you guys okay with it? So next we'll come up with the council guidelines, right, on the same clause, but I think that will be a fresh topic that should be taken up in the next lecture. Okay, so what are we gonna do right now is wind up this lecture over here, and I'll see you guys back in the next lecture with the next set of topics, right? So until then, this is Abhinay Gupta signing off. Thank you and bye bye.